And hit it.
You're listening to J. Thomas Radio, radio on the right. And now, J. Thomas.
Thank you, sir. Going right to opening, ladies and gentlemen. And you may have noticed something. We have a new microphone. There's a story behind that. And so the past few weeks, you've noticed that there's probably been static in the line. There's just been things happening, and we had to get a bigger microphone. The other microphones were fine for a little while, but they would crap out. Eventually they would poop the sheets. And one pooped the sheet yesterday, and that was it. I said, okay, we're gonna have to spend a little bit more money to get a much better microphone. So we ordered it yesterday morning, and it got here today afternoon, and I went and picked it up, and here it is. It's sort of timely, because it came on the anniversary of the passing of the great one, Rush Limbaugh. 5 years ago today, he passed away from cancer in Florida, and the world is missing a person that truly had talent on loan from God. And he affected more people in America than I can't name somebody that changed the entire conversation of a nation more than Rush Limbaugh. I just can't think of one person that had that big of an effect on politics, on culture, on almost everything for 30 years. For 30 years, which is a third of the lifetime of radio being invented and used. I mean, like, as not just the idea of radio, but radio stations growing up and spreading across America. For 30 of those years, a third of the time that radio has been around, Rush Limbaugh was number one. It wasn't even close. It's not even close. And his effect his effect was monumental on just about everybody. And it certainly was for me, and for almost everybody I know. I don't know anybody. I think of all the people that I know, I probably know 5 people that couldn't stand Rush Limbaugh. The rest of us were like, well, screw you. You don't understand. And so it's sort of proper that I had to get a new microphone, because I'm thinking, Rush affected me to a point where I actually became a DJ. I was a morning drive time DJ at 105.7 WCUP in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and it was a 50,000 watt blowtorch, and it blew from Canada to mid Wisconsin all the way down to middle of lower Michigan. It was huge. We had a big footprint, and I had a lot of fun. I eventually had to go back to other endeavors, including a comedy club, and it was the best part of my life, and I just really enjoyed it. And he had such a big impact on my life personally, turning me around from somebody who was looking for a belief, an idea. I couldn't really find it, and it I knew I was more conservative than people that I knew, but I really didn't know how to put it in words, right? And then one day, this is how I met Rush. One day, it was a Friday, because we had these parties on base on Friday, and I was going with another airman, and we were going to the nearest barbecue next to Ellington Air Force Base in Houston, and we were coming back with all the barbecue in the back, and the windows down because they didn't have air conditioning like they do now, and they didn't have an FM radio like they do now. They had an AM radio, and he had to roll the window up and down like this. So the window's down, and I'm farting around with the knob, and I landed on KSEV 700 AM, because we had, that was it. And I heard, "Talit, talit, 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 gay and lesbian update." I freaked out. I was like, what? What? You can't say those words on radio, especially AM. What? And he did the gay and lesbian update with, I think it was Klaus Barbie singing "You Don't Own Me." And it was the funniest thing that I had heard, like, ever. So at that point, I was hooked. And every day, I would listen to him. And I would go out when I had to do, when I was there during the week, because I was in the guard. I would sneak out to the parking lot, and I would listen to him for an hour, and I'd eat my lunch. And I wouldn't go with the other people to lunch, and I would just listen to Rush. And then it got to the point where my wife at the time, I would call her and say, I had a class. I was going to Texas A&M, and I said, you gotta make sure you tape Rush for me. I had a big boom box, and that's how I would listen to it. I would listen to it later on at night. If I couldn't listen to Rush in the afternoon, I made sure I had him taped. And this went on for over 30 incredible years with me and with millions of other people, literally millions of other people. And he changed this nation. He had such an impact on this nation, you just won't believe. And I just want to take this time. It's odd because I had to get this microphone, and I was aware that it was Rush's anniversary of his passing, and yesterday when it went out, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? So I ordered this thing that's will be at 1 o'clock or something like that. So it came in at 2 o'clock, so I ran up and picked it up. And I'm going to call it Rush, by the way, because I have to name it. And I'm thinking that Rush, when these other microphones weren't doing it, either Rush was looking down from above going, "Jay, you need a new microphone," or he was saying, "Jay, get out of the business." I don't know which one it is, but I'm going to go with the former, and think he pushed me to get a better microphone, so I did. Now I know we have to fiddle with it a little bit, but I wanted to come on and just show a remembrance of Rush. If you remember him, you remember what an impact he had. I still listen to the old Rush program, especially in the 90s. They have them on YouTube. And in the 90s, he's talking about Clinton and what Clinton was doing. And he nails Bubba Clinton in the 90s like nobody. Bubba Clinton is still... Hillary and Bill Clinton are the same people, are the people that Rush warned us about back then. He said they're going to do this, and when they get old, when they move on, when they get older, they're not going to leave politics ever. He knew these people like he knew the back of his hand, and he was right. So if you ever get a chance to listen to some of the old Rush Limbaugh on YouTube, it's amazing. It is amazing how prescient he was 30 years ago. So, just wanted to say God bless Rush. and Godspeed. And one day, I hope to meet you. I almost met him. We were told that we could meet him at K-Life in outside of Dallas. And we were in College Station, and so we packed up and we drove there, and we were going to have one of our newspapers for him and everything, and I don't know, we were going to take pictures and stuff, and we were really happy that we were going to be able to meet him. And then somebody called in a bomb threat, and nobody could meet him at that point. They had guards and security all over the place. And this is when he was he was more than starting out, but this is in the early 90s. Just incredible. Incredible the impact he had. So Rush, again, Godspeed. I miss you, buddy. We'll see you soon.